There's more to life than simply increasing its speed. Freedom is the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. To be wealthy and honored in an unjust society is a disgrace. It was easier to ask for forgiveness than it was to get permission. Do it now. Sometimes later becomes never. Things joined by profit, when pressed by misfortune and danger, will cast each other aside. Men don't need linguistic talent. They just need courage and words. Let your mind wander in the pure and simple. Be one with the infinite. Let all things take their course. Failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it. Si no usaba esta vida, entonces la estaba desperdiciando. To know that we know what we know, and that we do not know what we do not know, that is true knowledge. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. Don't let the fear of losing them keep you from loving them. The butterfly counts not months but moments and has time enough. Start each day with a positive thought and a grateful heart. Ultimate excellence lies not in winning every battle, but in defeating the enemy without ever fighting. There's nothing more frightful than ignorance in action. It's enough for me to be sure that you and I exist at this moment. What is essential in war is victory, not prolonged operations. I'm not pretty. I'm not beautiful. I'm as radiant as the sun. It's what's in yourself that makes you happy or unhappy. Ability will never catch up with the demand for it. There's more beauty in truth, even if it is dreadful beauty. Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible. It's important in life. If you don't give a shit, it can help you a lot. If it keeps you happy, keep it quiet. But truly, if I were not Alexander, I would be Diogenes. There are no second chances in life, except to feel remorse. Cherish that which is in you, and shut out that which is without, for much knowledge is a curse. For a word to be spoken, there must be silence, before and after. There is little success where there is little laughter. It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed. Pretend to be weak, so your enemy may grow arrogant. Convictions are more dangerous foes of truth than lies. In the end, it will all work out okay. The end isn't final if we're not okay with it. We don't have to defeat any individual but our own self. Instinct is a makeshift, an admission of helplessness before the problem of reality. Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. Just remain in the center, watching, and then forget that you are there. Sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith. No one is useless in this world who lightens the burdens of others. If you concentrate on small, manageable steps, you can cross unimaginable distances. If you are untrustworthy, people will not trust you. The petty thief is imprisoned, but the big thief becomes a feudal lord. For every expert, there is an equal and opposite expert. Stay close to anything that makes you glad you are alive. I always felt like you had to be important to have enemies. A whetstone, though it cannot cut, may sharpen a knife that will. If something is important, it deserves to be experienced deeply. What is of the greatest importance in war is extraordinary speed. One cannot afford to neglect opportunity. One half of the world cannot understand the pleasures of the other. To bear and not to own, to act and not lay claim, to do the work and let it go, for just letting it go is what makes it stay. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. The most common form of despair is not being who you are. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. A paranoid is someone who knows a little of what's going on. Fear defeats more people than any other one thing in the world. The hardest thing of all is to find a black cat in a dark room, especially if there is no cat. When the position is such that neither side will gain by making the first move, it is called temporizing ground. Grace isn't a little prayer you chant before receiving a meal. It's a way to live. A battering ram can knock down a city wall, but it cannot stop a hole. Different things have different uses. The elegance under pressure is the result of fearlessness. The men of old breathed clear down to their heels. It's faith in something and enthusiasm for something that makes a life worth living. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Any intelligent fool can make things bigger and more complex. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. The difficult problems in life always start off being simple. Great affairs always start off being small. But better to get hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie. The only source of knowledge is experience. I cried because I had no shoes until I met a man who had no feet. Time always exposes what you truly mean to someone. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Whatever is going to happen will happen, whether we worry or not. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Slowly we became silent, and silence itself, if an enemy to friendship. All shall be done, but it may be harder than you think. We may be small, and we may be young, but we will shake the world for our beliefs. Perfect happiness is the absence of striving for happiness. The best way to cheer yourself is to cheer somebody else up. Because you can only die once, but you can suffer forever. Creativity is intelligence having fun. Chaos is more freedom, in fact, total freedom, but no meaning. The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Don't fear big, fear mediocrity, fear waste, fear the lack of living to your fullest. Wake up with determination. Go to bed with satisfaction. If you believe very strongly in something, stand up and fight for it. Judging is the cause that creates the effect of choosing. If everything seems under control, you're not going fast enough. The nail that sticks out farthest gets hammered the hardest. Beware of the small things. A small leak can sink a great ship. Have enough courage to start and enough heart to finish. Keep a little fire burning, however small, however hidden. A wise general makes a point of foraging of the enemy. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. A constitution that is made for all nations is made for none. We can't avoid reasoning. We can only avoid doing it well. You can't be brave if you've only had wonderful things happen to you, either in conflict with others or in harmony with them. We go through life like a runaway horse, unable to stop.